Yeah, good evening all. Am I audible? Yeah, Sujit, good evening. Shri, good evening. Deepak Ranjan. Rajaram, sorry, good evening. Yeah, Arun, good evening. Yeah, thank you all for your response. Sai Manigantan, good evening. Devraj, good evening. Shushma, good evening. Okay. Tapas Kumar, good evening. Roja, attendance link. The classes didn't even start. Why are you asking for attendance link now? Sri Krishnan, good evening. Maunika, good evening. You what? Yuvantika, good evening. Yeah. So thank you all for your response. Okay. So many of you asking for the IED in yesterday's class, right? Actually, I have planned this session for upcoming session, but so many of you asking for ID. I also thought like that it's better if we go for ID instead of like editor in the terminal itself. So that's why we are going to talk about what ID we are going to install now, and we are going to do the remaining program in the today's session. Actually, in yesterday's session I didn't even complete all those topics, right? So first let's talk about this Visual Studio Code and how to download it, and then we can go for the remaining programming part, right? So here in the slide itself I have provided all the commands that we are going to follow because we need to download it, right? So here I provide all the commands. So if you have pen and paper with you, then just note it down or take a screenshot of it, right? So it may be helpful for you. So now I'm going to get back to our Jetson Nano terminal. So we need to follow all these commands, okay? Okay. So let me get back to our Jetson Nano, and here I have connected my Jetson Nano. Okay, so let's start. So here we are going to use Code OSS or Visual Studio Code, okay? And it's almost identical to PyCharm, but it's run under just the default installation of Python, okay? So for that, first we need to go to the terminal. Now we need to install Code OSS. And for that, we need a helper program. Why is this not clear? What happened? Is it okay now? Is it okay now? Okay, so now we need to install Code OSS, and for that we need a helper program, okay? So that will allow us to do that. For that helper program to work, we have to make sure that we are updated or not. For that we need to update it first. You know very well how to update it. So sudo apt get update. Thank you for your response, Arun Ram. Okay, let me hit enter. Okay, let me provide my password. Attendance link will be provided at the end of the session as a Google form link. You can just go to that Google form and mark your attendance, right? Okay, it's actually, yeah. Let's wait for a few seconds. It will only take few seconds. It's done. Okay. So now our system is updated now, right? So now let's get into downloaded directory. Download directory, and let's download what we need. For that I'm going to cd downloads. Here I want to download those particular stuff, okay? So if I hit enter, now we are in download directory. Let me list it once and let me check, do we have anything inside that download directory or not? That is nothing. So here we are going to download that. For that I am going to pass the command call. Sorry Arun, yesterday's link can't provided in today's class. So I hope you understand. If you miss the attendance link in that day itself, in the sense we can't provide you that particular attendance link in the next day's session. I hope you understand why I'm telling this. So try to attend all those remaining classes without fail and without fail marking your attendance also, right? Because so many of you didn't attend yesterday's session. So many of you may be attend yesterday's session, but today there are maybe the same people, but there are different people. So we can't provide attendance link for everyone. Those who can't attend, those who don't attend the class, right? So that's why we can't able to provide it, but it's okay. You just only miss yesterday's link only, right? So try to be mark your attendance in the upcoming sessions, right? It's not a problem if you miss one day in the sense. So we have posted attendance link for yesterday's session and we have pinned it. You are the only one who didn't pay attendance, pay. What happened here? Okay, so now let's get back to this. Here I am going to pass the command called sudo apt get install curl. Okay, this is what we are going to install. So let me hit enter and let's see whether it is downloading or not. Yes, it's downloading. I want to continue it, or I am going to press Y. Is my voice is clear or not? Just a minute, let me check it with once. Just give me a minute. Let me check. Is my voice is clear now? Is my voice is clear now or not? Okay. So now we need to add one more command. Okay. So it will be a long command. I don't want to type it here. Let me copy and paste it over here, and I will also provide that particular link in the chat box. If you want, you can go and get that, right? Okay. Let me paste it over here. And I will provide that link in your chat box also. So if you want, you can go for it, right? Okay. So let me hit enter. It's downloading and it only take few seconds, I think. Let us wait. Yeah, thank you for your response. Okay. Good evening, Sauji. Good evening. Yeah, it's finished. Okay. So now one more command we need to pass. Sudo dpkg -i code -oss underscore 1.32.3 ARM 64.deb. It will be almost same like this line. So sudo dpkg -i code -oss underscore 1.32.3 ARM 64.deb. So let me hit enter. Okay. Now we are installing code OSS now. It will only take few seconds to finish. Okay, it's done. Okay, so now we need to ensure that do we successfully install code OSS or not, right? So for that, just go to start menu and search for like code OSS. It should, yeah, here it is. We have successfully installed it. So I'm going to move this file over here, then it will be easy to access, right? So let me cancel it and Okay, so let me cancel, let it be, and let me open code OSS. Okay, so it should open, yeah. Now we need to configure it first. Okay, so for that we need to create a folder where we are going to keep all our Python program files, and within this folder we can have different folders or different types of program. Okay, so in the desktop I am going to create a new folder called Python program. Okay, so let it be, and this also. Okay, so in the desktop I am going to create a new folder called Python program. Okay, so Python program, let me create it. So now we have created Python program in the desktop, right? So now let's get back to code OSS or Visual Studio Code. So here what you just need to do is that we need to go for file. So for that, let me do one thing. Okay. So let us go for settings, and here we need to give all the stuffs. So let me go for the appearance and behavior. Actually, I can change this to, in the Windows I need to show the title bar, and it should be always displayed. So if I click it, you can able to see the changes over here, right? So let me cancel it now, and now we can go for file. Here we need to open that folder that we have just created and go to desktop, and there it is, Python program. Click on it and click OK. Okay. So now we can able to see our folder over here. So here you can able to see Python program, right? So now we need to go to the extension icon. So where is the extension icon? Here it is, extension icon. So just click on it, and here we need to install Python first. So search for Python, and now we can go for the first one. Let me click install. It only take few seconds to download, so it should show over here like installed. Yes, ask me, Arun. Yeah, Priyanka, good evening. It's installing, it only take few seconds. Yeah, it's done. Okay, so now let me cancel it. Okay, so let us get back to our Explorer. So here you can able to see some commands, like to show all the commands you can press Control Shift plus P. ARM64.deb is to open with which app? What do you mean by which app? I just provided you the link which is used to download the code OSS in the terminal. Yes, we can, Arun. That's what we are doing now. Okay. So here we are having so many commands over here, right? So to show all the commands, Control Shift plus P, and to go to the file you can press Control plus P, something like that. So now I am going to use Control Shift P to show all the commands. So Control Shift plus P. If I click on it, here we are. So here we need to search for select interpreter. Okay. So if I click on it, it should show the version of the Python here. So it is defaultly selected in Python 2.7.70. We should go for Python 3. You can also use Python 2, but I go for the latest version, Python 3. So let me click on it. Okay, it's done. Now just go to the Python program over here. Here you will have like, you can create a new file, you can create a new folder, you can, what it is, you can refresh it. Okay, so here I am going to create a new folder, and I am going to name it like a basics, just a basics. Okay, Can we have any possibility to get free intern certificates? So sorry Arun, we can't provide any free internship certificate. If you want internship certificate, you have to pay for it, right? I hope you understand. But you can get participation certificate, but you have to pay 118 for that. So we can't provide any free certificate for internship, right? Okay. So we have created a basic folder over here. So let me hit enter. So here in the basic folder, we are going to create multiple Python programs. Okay. So for that, click on that basic folder. Right click on it. Here I am going to create a new file. Okay. So here I am going to create the program. So just a minute. Okay. So in yesterday's session we have done with Python if program, right? Okay. So here now we are going to talk about for loop. We have done with if condition, right? So now we are going to for loop. So I am going to name it like Python for.py. Okay. So let me hit enter. It will open the file over here. So here we can write the program, here we can run it, here we can see the output in the IDE itself. Okay, so now let's start. It is asking for install something. We don't need it right now, so let me cancel it, let it be. Okay, so now let's write the line. So first I am going to write a for loop. So for I in range. Okay, I mean the index value. So I in range, not index, sorry. Here we need to pass the steps. What are the things? First, I want to start with the number 1 and then I want to end it with 10. So in the terminal, I want to print the number from 1 to 10. So here if I give 10 in the sense, yeah, I have just connected this with my laptop only. I didn't use any external laptop, external monitor here. I'm just using in my laptop. Yeah, using VNC viewer. In my case, VNC is not stable. Why? VNC is perfect for everyone, I think. If it's not comfortable for you in the sense, try with an external monitor. You can go for external display also. Yes, it will add the value to your resume, Arun Ram. Definitely. But you should have a strong knowledge on that. It's easy to get any kind of certificate from any institute, right? So, but the important thing is you should have the good knowledge on that particular topic. If you are strong about Jetson Nano in the sense, it will definitely add a value in your resume. You just checking with arm64.deb. This is not the correct thing. Let me share you the link once again. Search with the full link. You have to start from curl-l and end it with the arm64.deb, right? Okay. Okay. So now let's get back to it. I want to just print the number from 1 to 10. So if I give 10 in the sense, it will print numbers from 1 to 9. So we have to give one more number. So let me give, sorry. What happened? Let me give 11 and then the range is 1. So don't forget to give the colon. If I hit enter, see it will automatically take the indentation, right? So in the terminal, in the editor, we should give it by ourselves. So in the IDE, it will take it by its own. So now I am going to print that I. Okay. So and now I want to print the statement like that's all. This is what I want to print. So how to run that? Just right click on it. run Python file in terminal. Click on it. It should print. Okay, let me cancel it. Here you can able to see, right? So 1 from 1 to 10 and it's printing that's all in between the numbers. 1 that's all, 2 that's all, 3 that's all. I don't want to print like this. I just want to print number from 1 to 10 and at the end of the numbers it should print like that's all. So how to do that? Here if I just remove this indentation and if I run it again, in the sense we can able to see the difference over here. So see, it's printing number from 1 to 10 and at the end of the thing that's all. Because once it get inside the for loop, it check for the condition. So it will met at the end of the condition until it will print the numbers and then it came out of the loop and then it print the remaining line. So out of the loop we only have a single line which is I just want to print that's all string. So it will print the numbers from 1 to 10. At last it will print the string called that's all. Okay. So this is just a for loop. Okay. So now let's try another thing. So see here it's printing the value first and then it's printing the string at last, right? So this is how indentation is work because it comes out of the loop and then run the remaining lines of code. So now let's import one library and try. Okay. So let me cancel it and let me go for the first line and here I want to import library called numpy. This is how you can import any library. Import numpy as np. So instead of using numpy everywhere I just want to call it like np. Okay, so that's why import numpy as np. Okay, so let me go for another for loop. Inside I want to, I forgot to add the main thing over here. For I in range, inside we need to pass like I'm going to go for like minus 0.5. I want to print like minus 0.5 to plus 6. Okay, so let it be plus 6 and then in 1. So here I want to print that I and after that I want to print again that's all. This is what I want to print. Okay. So now let's run this and see. Run Python file in terminal. What happened? Yeah. What happened? Float object cannot be interpreted as an integer. Okay, because I didn't give anything data type over here, right? Okay. So now let us move to the thing. Let me run it again and see. Let me go for minus 5. See, it's printing from minus 5 to 5 and then at last it's printing that's all. Okay. Okay. So now let's add few more lines over here. Okay. So let me go for let me cancel this. And here I just want to print from 1 to 10 in 25 lines. Okay. So here in range I want to change this with np dot linspace. Okay, so if I run this, let's see what it will be print. See here, it's printing from 1.0 to 10.0 in 25 lines. So this is how you can. I just made a small mistake in the before line. What it is, let me tell you that. See, I have just passed what? Minus 0.5 comma plus 6 comma 1, right? And here I forgot to change the range to, I think it should give like range, NP range or what? A range. NP dot A range, I think. What happened? It got stuck again. So let me try it again. Yeah, it's working now. So minus 0.5, 0.5, 1.5 to 5.5. So let me cancel this. Oops. Again it's stuck in because of poor Wi-Fi. So sorry for it. Okay. So again, this is the right time to switch your masterclass into 1 month internship on Jetson AI. This is only applicable for registered masterclass students. I have already told you that if you want to do online internship after this 21 days of masterclass, in the sense, you can go and visit our website. That will be a different amount. So it will be like you should pay more money for that. So this is a best offer for you guys. You can only pay 999 rupees for this. So these are the advantage you will get in this 30 days of internship, which are 30 days recording sessions, 30 days of presentations, 4 plus exclusive project codes. You can join to the VIP community group and you will get LMS access for 90 days. And you will get internship confirmation letter, and there will be a weekly hackathon session for coming Saturday or Sunday. You will be having your first hackathon session, I think, for batch 1, and you will be getting mock tests, assignments and tasks, and at the end of the 21 days of masterclass, you will get your internship or participation certificate. So the registration fees is 999 plus GST, and this is the registration link. Just go and use this chance. So while making your payment, don't forget to add your name, mail ID, WhatsApp number, which department you are from, which institute or organization you are from, and don't forget to mention the domain name. And you will be doing 4 plus projects with me in this internship, right? Okay, so let's get back to our Jetson Nano. Oops. It got still stuck. Okay, so now let's get back to the basics. Here I want to make one more file. New file. I'm going to name it like Python while.py. Okay, so here I'm going to use while loop. So while of 1 means loop. While of 1 means loop. So inside I want to create one variable called count. I want to get the input from the user. For that I'm going to use the data type, which is float, and instead I want to pass input. And what do you want to count to? This is what I want to print. And after this, I want to create one more variable called x, and I'm going to assign this x variable with 1. and then inside while loop I'm going to add one more while, and with the condition, which means while x is lesser than or equal to count, then inside I want to print the numbers with format specifier. So here I need to use like colon dot 2f. What happened? This is not what I expect. Okay. I don't know why it's lagging again and again. Okay. Here and here I need to make one more. Okay. Now here we need to go for dot format of x. So sorry for this. I'm having a very bad network over here. That's why it's lagging again and again. So x is equal to x plus 1, that is the second line, and out of this loop I want to print that's all. This is what I want to print. So using while loop we are going to print the same numbers over here. So let me run it. Okay, let's go and run Python file in terminal. So here it is asking for what do you want to count to. So I want to pass just 10, number 10. So if I hit enter, see it's printing like 1.00, 2.00 until 10.00. Okay. So this is how you can use while loop. So now let's move to the next topic, which is arrays, Python arrays. Okay. So for that, let me cancel it. Let me cancel it. That is the format specifier. So if you give colon dot to f in the set bracket in the sense, it will only take 2 decimal. If you are giving float number in the sense, you only get 2 numbers after that decimal, right? So if you change this to 3 or 4 in the sense, you will get 4 decimal number or 3 decimal number, something like that. If you didn't give that format specifier in the sense, it will print something, some random number like 2.33333. It will go until then. So that's why you can use format specifier. So if you give like 0.2f in the sense, it will only take 2 decimal points. Okay. So here I am going to take a variable called grade array. Okay. So here I just want to give an empty array. It's just an empty array, there is nothing inside. Okay. So now I am going to use one more term called grade array dot append of, I want to pass just a number 5. Okay. So here this append function enable us to add an element or an array to the end of another array. Okay, so here again I want to give like grade array dot append of, let me pass the number 10, grade array dot append. So let me pass the number like 15. What happened? I'm going to pass number 15 and now I want to print it. So print, I want to print that grade array. Okay, so let me run it and see what it will print. Oops. What happened? What do you want to come to? It's still in that thing. Count float. Let me cancel this. This is a win home desktop icon basic arrays. Could not convert string to float. Why? Sorry. Let me run it again. Yeah, see, it's printing like in the array, it's printing 5, 10 and 15. Okay, so in the grade array, I just made it as an empty array. I just use the function called append function. So this enables us to add an element or it enables us to add an array to the end of another array. Okay, so here I just passed 3 numbers using append function like 5, 10 and 15. At last, if I print that particular grade array in the sense, it will print like 5, 10, 15. So now let's fetch only one particular number just by using the index value. So always in array, the index will start in 0. I hope you know that. So now let's fetch the number using index. Okay, so how to get that? Just you need to pass the index number. I want to just fetch the number 10. So 5 is the 0th index, 10 is the first index and 15 is the second index, right? So I just want to fetch the first index number. So let me run it again and it should print 10. See, here it's printing 10. So what if I want to change the value of index 1? I don't want to be the first index value is 10. I just want to change this to something. So how to do that? Here I just want to add one more line called grade array of 1, which means first index. Instead of 10, I want to change this to 20. So if I run this again, it should print 20 instead of 10. See, it's printing 20. So using index value, you can fetch the value from the array. Okay, so I hope you understand this. So now let's write some proper code by getting the input from the user. Okay, so for that let me cancel it and let me erase all this and let us start from the scratch. Okay, so the grade array is an empty array, let it be. Here I am going to use one more thing called number grades. I want to pass the type which is integer and then input. Here I want to ask like how many grades do you have? This is what I want to ask. So how many grades do you have? And after this, I'm going to use for loop. Okay, so for I in range, inside we need to pass where to start. So 0th index, right? So I'm going to start with 0 and then we need to pass like how to end it. So we are not knowing it exactly. So for that we need to pass the variable name which is nothing but num grades, which is the input you give. So comma 1, this is the range. Okay, so colon. So it's starting from 0 up to num grades. And then I want to create one more variable called grade. Inside this will be a float type and inside input. Now I want to enter the input by the user. So input your grade. First it will ask for how many grades do you have, and then it will ask you for input your grade. Okay, and after this we need to append that grade using what? Grade array dot append. Sorry, I mistakenly gave comma over here. Append. Inside we need to pass that grade variable. Okay, so this is the first loop. Now we can move for the second loop. So for I in range, same thing, 0 comma num grades comma 1. Inside I want to print that grade along with some string. So print your I plus 1, because in arrays only we have taken number from 0th index, but in common term we are not go for 0, we will start it in 1, right? So that's why just make an increment over here, and after this I want to print like it will print like your first grade is, it will print the grade. So how to print the grade? Grade array of I. It will fetch that output. Okay. So at last I want to print just thank you. This is the program. Okay. So let me run this in the terminal and see what will happen. So it's asking for how many grades do you have. Let me say like 5. Sorry, it's printing over there. Let me click on it and 5. If I hit enter, so input your grade. So first grade will be 90, and then 85, and then 70, and then 100, and then let it be 95. So if I hit enter, it's printing like your first grade is 90.0. Thank you. Sorry, I forgot that. We will make like, if you backspace it, it will print at the end of the thing, right? So I mistakenly give inside the loop. So your second grade is 85.0, and your third grade is 70.0, your fourth grade is 100.0, and your fifth grade is 95.0. I hope you understand the concept of array. So now this is the last program. I mean, this will be the last program. Now let's find out the average of grades from the user input. Okay, so we have just get the input from the user, and we have just print the grade that is provided by the user, right? So now let's find out the average for the grades that is from the user input. Okay, so let me cancel it again. This will be the last program, and from tomorrow itself we can directly jump to the core concepts of what? The remaining thing, we can directly go for we can travel through our project. So grade array, I want it to be empty. So first this particular line will initialize an empty list named grade array to store the grade which is entered by the user. Again, num grades which is equal to, I am going to take the integer type. So input of, inside I want to ask like how many grades do you have? Sorry. How many grades do you have? Okay. And after this, I can go for a for loop. I in range. It will be start from 0, num grades, comma 1, and let's get into the loop. Okay. So here I'm going to give like new grade which is equal to, I'm going to give the float type and then input. So here I want to give like enter your grade. This will be the second thing. So this line asks the user to input the grade for each iteration. Okay. So now let's go for grade array dot append. Inside we need to pass the new grade variable, right? Okay. So after this, out of the loop, I just want to leave a blank line. So how to leave a blank line? Just give print like this. This will leave a blank line. And after that line, I want to print something like your grades are. Okay. So this will print your grades are. Now we can move to the next for loop. So I in range, again 0 comma num grades comma 1, and then let's end it with a colon, and then I want to print like grade array of I. Okay. Now let's get out of the loop, and here I want to create one more variable called temporary for temp. So in this temp, I just want to initialize this temp variable with 0, and then again go for loop. Sorry, I mistakenly gave in the same line. For I in range, here same thing, 0 comma num grades comma 1, and inside this loop I want to do one calculation to get the average. So temp, which is equal to, I hope you know how to get the average. You will do it for every semester, right? So grade array of I. So the temporary is now for 0. We have initialized this with a 0. So temp, which is equal to temp plus grade array of I. So this particular line adds each grade in grade array to the running total stored in temporary variable. So now we can come out of this loop, and now we can create one more variable called average. Here I want to do one more calculation. So the temp is divided by num grades. Okay. So this particular line calculates the average of the grades by dividing the total by the number of grades. Okay. Okay. I made a mistake over here, I think. So temp divided by num grades. Then we get only error in our program. Here see, I forgot to add. Okay. So now I think it's correct. Okay. So after this I want to leave a blank line. And after this I want to take two variables. One is high grade, which is equal to 0, and low grade, which is equal to 100. You may wonder why I am taking high grade as 0 and low grade as 100. Why? It's looking like a nonsense, right? You will understand why I am mentioning high grade as 0 and low grade as 100 in the upcoming lines, because we have to go through one if condition. So for I in range, again 0 comma num grades comma 1. So inside I am going to go for if condition. So if grade array of I is less than low grade, this is my first condition, which means grade array of I is less than 100, because the grade should be in 0 to 100, right? So less than 100 in the sense. Inside I want to assign to the low grade like low grade, which is equal to grade array of I. So this line assigns the current grade to the low grade when the condition is met. Now if grade array of I is greater than high grade, then similarly high grade which is equal to grade array of I. Okay, so now at last let's print the value. So using print function inside your high grade is high grade. Likewise, let's do the same thing for low grade also. So let me copy this and let me paste it. So here let us change low, and this also should be low. So right. So let me check it once. Then we didn't get any error. So first grade array, it is the empty array, and num grades integer type input of how many grades do you have. First for loop. So for I in range 0, num grades and 1. So thank you all for your response, right? Num grades. Let me check whether I give any wrong. Okay, everything is same. Because we don't have to come again here and check for the spelling everywhere, right? So that's why I'm checking. And let me check for grade array also. Okay, everything is correct, I think. So new grade which is equal to float input of, it's asking for enter your grade, and then grade array dot append of new grade, and then it will leave a blank line and it will print like your grades are. And then there is another for loop. So for I in range 0, num grades 1, and then it will print the grade array of I, and that is a temporary variable over here, and another for I in range. This is a calculation to get the average. So temp which is equal to temp plus grade array of I, and then let's come out of the loop. Here average is equal to temp divided by num grades, and there is okay. But I forgot one more line. We need to give the format specifier. Where it is? Here it should be. After printing this, we have directly go for that line. But where is the format specifier? So one more line using print. So it will print some long value. We don't need it anymore. So your average is space comma, and then we can give inside this 0.2f and after this dot format of average. Now this will be the correct thing, colon dot 2f dot format of average, and then again let's leave a blank line. Okay, so now again high grade, low grade, for I in range the same thing. If grade is lesser than low grade, in the sense we need to assign this value to the low grade, and if it's greater than high grade, I mean greater than 0, in the sense it will assign as the high grade, then it will print the high grade and low grade. Okay, so let us run this and see, do we get the expected output or not? Okay, so how many grades do you have? I'm having 5 grades. Sorry, mistakenly type over here. Here 5, and let me hit enter, and my first grade is 95.2 and 90 and 78.5. So 78, okay, and 88.9 and 90. Okay, let me hit enter and see. Oops, we got error because instead of 0 I gave O. Where it is? Here it is. Number line. sorry, everywhere I just gave 0. See, oh, instead of, sorry, this should be 0. Okay, let me scroll down and check here also. It should be 0, not O, right? Okay, so let me run it again. Python file in terminal, and here I'm going to give like 5 and 98.2, 90.5, 88.2, 78.9, 80. Okay, see, here we got the output. This is our expected output. So your grades are 98.2, 90.5, 88.2, 78.9 and 80.0. So your average is 87.16 and your high grade is 98.2 and your low grade is 78.9. So this is what I am expecting. Okay, so we got it correct. So this is all about Python programming. We have just covered all the basic topic. This is enough for us. So from tomorrow itself, we have all done with the basic stuff. So from tomorrow itself, we can directly jump into the core concept like deep learning. What is deep learning? What is neural network? And how to do all those applications, everything and all. I hope it will be more interesting from tomorrow onwards because we are directly going to jump into the core concept. So please don't miss all those classes. Try to attend all the classes, right? So thank you all. Have a very great day. Let's catch up at tomorrow's class with another topic.